Hey, Scott Austin here from Product and today I'm going to show you how to use the Turbo theme's most favorite feature of mine, the ability to make rich, engaging pages, and how to make templates that can do that for you. So let's get started. What I'm going to show you here is on our demo store, Roller Derby Love, a couple of examples of what I'm talking about by rich content pages. So let's scroll down to the footer here and look at our Contact Us page. So as you can see in the URL, it's a page, right? It's not a product or a collection, it's a page. That's its type inside of Shopify. And here we have a contact form, a full screen banner, a bunch of alternating images with calls to action, a map, and all sorts of functionality like that. So not your standard page. And also in the About Us page, another example, we've got some, full screen banner again, some photos, some text, photos, call to action button, and a video. So these pages are done in the Turbo theme through a template called page.details. Now the little bit technical part about it is that any page template that uses rich content like this has to be unique. So the About Us page is using a different template than the Details page. The code in those templates is exactly the same, and I'll show you some examples of that here in a moment, but they actually have two different instances of the template. So what I'm going to show you here is how to create a new page and then create the template for that page in the Turbo theme to give you this page.details template functionality of really rich, engaging content. So to get started, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the Shopify admin for Roller Derby Love sites. And we're just going to go down, we're going to online store, and we're going to go to pages, and we're just going to add a new page. And I'm going to call that page example. And you'll see here on the example page the templates that exist. And you can see I have a page details about us and a page details contact us, two different ones. There's also another one for designs. And then the generic page detail one, which is one we're going to start off from as our template to make our additional template. So I don't have a template specific and unique for the example page yet. So we're going to create our page, let that save. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go into online store themes. So we're going to be adjusting a little bit of liquid code. We're actually not going to write code, but we're going to copy and paste some code. So even if you're not a developer but feel pretty comfortable getting around a computer, you should be okay doing this type of work on your own. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the edit code section under our theme. So you got the actions button, and under one of the actions is edit code. So we're going to edit code. Now, there's different folders, right? The first folder we're going to look at is just the template folder. And we're going to add a new template. And that new template is going to be for a page. And we're going to call it Details Example. I like to name them pretty similar or exactly the same thing that I'm naming the page. So I know that this About Us template goes with this About Us page. You don't have to do that, but it just makes it easier to keep them all properly associated between pages and templates inside the Shopify admin. So we're going to create that template. And what it's going to do, it's going to create the default template from the existing page template, not the page details template. So then the next thing we have to do is we now see that we have a page details.liquid, and here's the new one we just created, page details example. I'm going to open up page details.liquid. And you can see the code on this is much simpler, although this one isn't that complex. The code is much simpler in page.details than it is in the default page template that was given to us. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our new template that we've created, the details example, and we're going to delete all the text that's in there. And then in page details, I'm going to select all the text. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to paste it into page details example, the new template we've created. So we're going to save that. Now, this page details is pointing to a section, which I'll show you how to make a section in a minute, but each page template has to point to its own unique section. So what I'm going to do here is do page details, and I'm going to add in example. So now this details example is matching this details example up here. I'm going to save that. Now I've created a page template that now exists inside of the admin. So if I was to go back to, let's just open up a new tab with our pages open. We're going to go to the example page in the admin. And now you'll see if I select on the templates, I now have a page details example. So I can assign that template to that page, which I'm going to do. So I'm going to save that. But if I preview that page, you'll notice I get an error because it's looking, the only code on that page was, hey, show me this section, page details example template. And that page details example template section does not exist yet. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go back to our code editor and we're going to add a section. So the way I usually do this so I don't get any spelling errors is I copy this whole string right here, which is the name of the section we're referencing, and then I'm going to create a new section. So I open the sections folder and I select the add new section link, and I'm just going to paste that name in for that section. Now that section is going to be fairly empty, and this is something in Shopify. Every time you create a new one, it closes that page out, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to go back. We don't need these two files open anymore. So now we're going to go to our sections. We've got to open up the one that we just created, which was page details example template. And it's very empty code in there. And then we're also going to open up page details template, which is a lot more code in it. And I'm just going to take the new section that we created, select all the text, delete it, and then go into page details template, select all its text, copy it, and paste it into the new page details example template that we created. So I'm going to paste, save. All right, and that's all we have to do for code work. We're creating one section and one template, and we're copying code, all of the code from the details template and section that I showed you, and putting that into the new ones that we created. And then we assign that template to the page that we created. So now what we get, if we go back to our pages example, and I refresh the page, I now have, with no content added to it yet, but I now have the rich functionality to put content in to the page. And then let me show you how to edit that. So I have another video which I talk about in more detail how to edit that page, but I quickly want to show you here in this video where what we do is we go to themes, and now in this theme section we're going to click on the blue customize button. And on the right here, it's going to show us a screen preview. And on the left, it's going to give us functions that we can apply to that, how we edit and add content. But I need to bring up, right now it's on the home page, I need to bring up the example page. So up here, we have a drop down which allows us to pull any page off the site. There's our example page. It's going to bring that up. And now, if I, over on the left, open the section that says page, each one of these blocks is associated with each one of these content sections here on the page. So for example, if I'm not going to have a video on this page, I can just go to the video section over here, block it's called, and I can remove that block. It's a long one. Remove content, and now the video is off the page. So you can remove the content modules you're not going to use for your page. And you can also add other content modules So let's say you wanted 2 image galleries instead of just one, you could add content, pick image gallery, and then there's the second one also. So that's how you create a new page details template for a new page inside of the Turbo theme. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, feel free to get in contact with me.